Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know you're here while I get all the windows opened, allowing everyone to watch, show up. And if you're here for the replay, you can put hashtag replay and join right along with us. All right. And let me pull this up on my phone really quickly, make sure I'm live and you can hear me. Because I have done this before where I went live and did a whole thing and my mic wasn't working properly. So let's make sure that that's not the case. Mhm. All right, let's see if it's here. Hold on one second. Little technical issue here. Let me make sure it's showing live there, but why is it not showing live in here? Um, hmm. All right, I'm not going to worry too much about it, I guess. It shows I'm live even though it's not showing up on my screen. We're supposed to be, hold on, wrong when. Okay, let me try one more time. All right. Not showing up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So good morning, good morning. How are you? Thanks for being patient with me trying to get all the windows going and everything. But thank you for being here. And where are you signing in from? Just like to know. Hold on. Where's my window? I'm trying to find my notes here. Central? Oh, Kansas. I'm in Georgia. I hope the weather's nice where you are, but it was almost in the 90s the other day, and today the high is going to be like 75 and it's in the 40s right now. So when I was walking the dog this morning, it really definitely felt a little weird after it being so warm for a while. All right, so the reason I'm here today is I wanted to talk about something that I think is going to land differently than anything I've said in a while. And I say a lot, right? I'm going to start with something that could use a little rain, but can't complain. All right. Wouldn't do any good to complain anyway, would it? So I'm going to start with something that might sound simple, but I want you to stay with me because it changes everything. The only constant in life is change. I know you've heard that before and you've heard me say it many times, but I want you to really hear what that means today, because most people think that by not doing something, by not making a decision, by waiting, by staying where they are, that they're standing still. But here's the truth. You are never standing still, ever. So I want you to think for a moment about if you were on an escalator and you step on, you stand there, you're still moving, right? So the escalator's taking you somewhere, whether you choose the direction or not, you're either going up or down. And the only way to actually stay in the same place on an escalator is to consciously work against the direction it's going. So to actively move up or down as it's going up or down, right? And your life works exactly the same way. You're always on the escalator, always moving. And the question is never whether you're changing, because you are. The only question is whether you're changing on purpose or by default. So doing nothing is a decision, and it has a destination too. And you can also look at this as if you're on a boat on the ocean. You can not pick up the oars or have the motor and going in any direction. You can turn the motor off, and you're not going to stay in the same place. You're going to be moving all over the place. Sometimes it's so insignificant that you can't tell unless you're looking at something on land, and you can start seeing how far away from it you're getting. Either you're going out, you're going to the right. I know I've had that experience when being in the ocean with a little float, and you get on the float and you're watching where everybody is, and you're not doing anything. Well, if you look away for a very short period of time and you look, they're way back there because it's been pushing you with the tide. And that's what we do in life when we don't make decisions. So if you've been waiting for the right time, waiting until things calm down, waiting until you make a little more money, I want you to hear this with love. That waiting has a destination too. Hello, hello. Nice to see you this morning. And that destination is probably not where you want to go. You procrastinate too much. All right. Well, I've got something I'm going to invite you to, and you can see if you want to come. That would definitely be helpful. So if any of this has landed, what it sounds like it has, just throw a yes in the comments and just kind of make me see what you're thinking. So now here, let me check my other windows real quick. Now here's where I want to be really clear about something. Perfect. Thank you. Because I talk a lot about subconscious work. I'm a hypnotist and a hypnosis instructor. So I talk a lot about the subconscious work. And I never want you to walk away thinking I'm telling you to throw out everything you've already been doing, right? So affirmations, powerful. Journaling, incredible. Vision boards equal daily intentions and gratitude practice. All of it has real value. So this is what those tools are genuinely good for. They help you get clarity. They kind of get the noise out of your head, the things that just will, if you don't get it onto the paper, it's just going to be bothering you all the time, right? Good morning, Goat Raider in the house. Great to have you. So when you start journaling and you're getting things out of your head and onto the paper, that gives your day a focus and an intention. So they start to set the sails on your boat, right? They begin to tweak the dials for your destination, right? And that is real. That matters. But, and this is the part that a lot of people don't talk about, tweaking the dials, setting the sails, that's not the same as setting the GPS. So if you don't know where you're going at the deeper level, if the destination hasn't been programmed into the part of you that's actually running the show, that subconscious mind, you can tweak those dials, set the sails differently all day long and still end up somewhere you didn't choose. The tide will take you somewhere. It just might not be where you wanted to go. So where is the GPS? Anybody have an idea? We kind of touched on it a moment ago, right? Where is the destination actually programmed? Perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you. It's programmed. Your conscious mind is the part you use to set the intentions, write in the journal, repeat your affirmations, right? And that's exactly what I've been going through since my divorce. Okay, I see it. I hear you. But all of that is running about 5% of your behavior. 5%. That's what your conscious mind, this thinking part, the one that's here listening, maybe taking notes, that's your conscious mind, right? And then there's the subconscious mind. That's where your real destination is programmed. The stories you've heard or absorbed before you even had words for them, your beliefs about money, about worth, about what's possible for someone like you, what your beliefs about the world and how it is in relation to you. All of it is running in that 95%. Wisconsin. Oh, Wisconsin in the house. Thank you. I'm in Georgia, so it's a little chilly or nipply, I like to say, but it's going to be warmer. So you can think all the right thoughts, say all the right things, set all the right intentions, create the biggest, most gorgeous vision board, and your subconscious will still drive you to the destination it was programmed for. To the destination it was programmed for. And remember, I just said that comes from your place of between birth and 7 to 8 years old. That's when all of these beliefs become part of who we are. So it's not a willpower problem. It's not a destination, not a discipline problem. It's a GPS problem. And here's the beautiful thing about knowing that. It means it was never about trying harder. It was always about going deeper. Now, here's something I really want you to hold on to, especially for those of you who have started doing this deeper work. And maybe you hit something that felt like a wall. When you start changing on purpose, really on purpose, at that subconscious level, things show up. Patterns you didn't know were there, beliefs that surface at the exact moment you're trying to move forward. And sometimes it can feel like an obstacle. Most people call it an obstacle or a mistake. But I want you to reframe that completely. It's not an obstacle. That's the GPS rerouting. That's your system saying, okay, we're going somewhere new. Let me show you what needs to be cleared for you to get there. Excuse me. Because those moments aren't stopping you. They're actually navigating you to a different path. And like Donkey says in Shrek, we have layers. Da-da-da. Right? And this is why the work is not one and done. It never was. We have layers. I love rewording those bumps in the road to rerouting. Yes. Yes. You do the work, something shifts, life gets better, and then you reach a new level and something else shows up. Something that wasn't triggered before because you hadn't grown enough yet to meet it. And I think it's Zig Ziglar, I can't remember. One of his sayings is, um, don't wish things were easier, wish you were better. And to me, that's the same as saying, don't wish for a life with nothing, no obstacles, no hills to climb. Just be prepared for the hill when it gets there. Because there's going to be a hill to climb at some point, right? And wouldn't life be awful miserable if everything was the same all the time, emotionally and feeling the same? There were no highs, there were no lows. You wouldn't learn a damn thing, would you? And I have a podcast called Today's Dream, Tomorrow's Reality. If you've never watched it, check it out. But one of the things that I started doing, it morphed a little bit after I created it and started. But I started seeing people that had amazing stories in life. And I would see them in a group or something on Facebook, and they would be saying something, and I'd reach out and I'd say, oh, this sounds like a story I want to hear. And I would schedule them to get on the podcast. And the very first person I had on the podcast, and right now his name is eluding me, I apologize. He was a man who was a diabetic, and he didn't take care of himself. He didn't eat right. He didn't exercise. He didn't do all the things that he was told to do as a diabetic. And what tragically or not tragically happened was that he ended up losing his leg from his knee down. And that sounds very tragic, right? But when I was talking to him on my podcast, and the reason that I reached out to him was something that he had said in his post in this group. He said that the best thing that had ever happened to him was losing his leg. Profound, right? How the hell could that be, right? And so he elaborated a little bit on the podcast, and he said that he was stuck in a hole. He didn't care about anything. He didn't take care of himself. But when he lost the leg, his perspective changed, and he actually changed what he did for a living. He did a complete switch. And he said that he loved the life that he had now, and he never would have picked it, never would have done a damn thing to get there if he hadn't lost his leg. And so one of the things that I say in my podcast is that we live a mosaic life. And what that means is a mosaic, if you're familiar, it's broken pieces of glass and pottery. And they've taken these broken pieces and they've created something beautiful, whether it's a vase, a table, whatever it is. So I feel like the broken pieces of our lives, when you put them all together, that's what makes our life amazing. And without those little broken pieces, it wouldn't look as beautiful. Now, is it the Japanese or the Chinese? I can't remember. But they have a type of art, and what is it? All of a sudden, the name of this art starts with a K, I think. Anyway, if you know the name, throw it in the comments and let me know, because I usually can say it, but it's eluding me right now. But they take broken pottery, and instead of tossing it away, they put it together and they fill the cracks with gold, which makes the pottery more beautiful and even stronger because of the breaks in it. So that's what every time an obstacle, what we feel like is an obstacle, pops up in our life. Thank you for being here. Maybe you can come back and catch the rest on replay. But now I forgot what I was saying. Give me a second. This morning, it doesn't take much to get me totally distracted. But back to is it Kitsumi? Maybe that's what it's called. But we all have these broken pieces of us, these what people call obstacles, yet they are really just places in the road that shift you to a different direction. Like that man losing his leg, right? Kids, yes, yes, Japanese. All right, beautiful. And I probably always say it wrong. Kitsumi is what I've been saying. I guess it's Kitsugi. I don't know. I need to look that up and get the pronunciation right. But the story is wonderful nonetheless, right? Even if I say it wrong. So having these things that pop up when we think things are just starting to get better, that's not failure. That's actually proof that you're moving in the direction you want. So I still have layers I'm working through, right? Scarcity still shows up for me sometimes. I still have moments that I have to work through. But here's what I can tell you that is absolutely true. My worst weeks now financially are better than my best weeks were a few years ago. And that gap, that's the work. That's what's possible when you start changing on purpose at the level that actually matters, your personal story, right? So let me tell you a little bit about my own journey because I've got some new people here and you may not know that much about me. So it's important for you to know who you're talking to, right? I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've shown up, I've worked hard. And for a long time, I had this ceiling, this invisible wall I'd get to at a certain point, and then something always would happen. Something that would pull me back, anything from an unexpected expense to a situation with the client, something. And I seemed to try everything. I did the journaling, the affirmations, the mindset work, and things would shift for a little and then drift back. Because I was working at the conscious level, that 5%. I made a decision, right? But the moment things started to really shift was when I stopped trying to think my way out of a subconscious pattern and started doing the work at the level where the story actually lives. And that's when my worst weeks started becoming better than my best weeks used to be. And I'm still on the journey, still doing the work, still moving through the layers. But I know how to navigate now, and that changes everything. Now, some of you, well, I'm not sure, I can't tell from over on Instagram, but some of you, and you may be watching the replay as well, were at the workshop I did last week. But something happened in that room. Oh, it was so delicious. I've had people reach out since then telling me about the shifts they felt, about the moment during the hypnosis when something in their chest just released. And I even had someone talking about going to bed that night feeling lighter and different, even if they couldn't quite explain it to anyone. So that's actually the GPS starting to update. And I don't want to stop you there for them or for you. So I decided I had not planned on doing another workshop because I'd already done, that was the second one. And I had a great experience delivering that. And this last one, we did hypnosis and tapping. So if you're not familiar with what that is, I can let you know a little bit. But I decided with the people that showed up, the energy in the room, and the things that I heard afterwards, that I wanted to do another one. and it's free, right? I'm not charging for it. I just want more people to get the shift. So this Wednesday night, April 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm hosting another free live workshop. Now I'm going to drop the workshop link in the comments so that you can grab it. But it's called The Missing Step in Every Money Mindset Program You've Ever Tried. And here's what's going to happen when you show up. You're going to shift, for one thing, but we're going to go deeper into exactly what we talked about today, the subconscious programming that's been running your financial life without your permission. Oh, wonderful. Yes. So sign up. Even if you were signed up before, you have to sign up again. So I make sure that I send you the information, because I send the day of or the day before, I send the link, the Zoom link to everyone that's signed up. So great. So we're going to do a real hypnosis experience together, like we did the last two. We did that as well. And it's right there in the room as a group. We start getting to that deeper level. And then the last thing we do is we finish with an EFT tapping sequence to release the body held charge that keeps you contracted around money. So it's not a lecture. It's not a webinar where I'll talk to you and then pitch you something. Now, there will be something I will offer at the end, but you get many shifts in the process. So if you want more, we can keep going. But this is real work in real time together. And it's free, it's live, and I would love to see you there. So like I said, the link is in the comments. So go ahead and grab that, grab your seat. And I mean, it's going to be so moving. It was for everybody in the room this past time, believe me. And the time before, I had a woman in the time before that got so deep into hypnosis that I had to call her name and to get her out of hypnosis. Now, if she hadn't heard anything, she would eventually have woken up and come out of hypnosis. But I did have to call her out, and I had people that had tremendous shifts. And this last one, one of the people that emailed me, she was the first person to sign up for the new one that's coming up. She had that much change that she really wanted to make sure she came the next time. So if you're not already on my newsletter list, I want to personally invite you to join us. My newsletter comes out every week on Wednesday. I talk about the things that I talk about on here live, and then different things that are going on. So every week I go a bit deeper on this work, some teachings. I do affirmations and journal prompts, things that you can actually use in the moment. And it's completely free too. It's one of my favorite ways to stay connected with the community. So let me grab the link for that. Hold on, let me grab the link. I'm going to throw that up there. All right, so there is the link to sign up for the newsletter as well. So I want to leave you today with something to carry into your week. So I went ahead and created an affirmation and a journal prompt for today. And even though, I've been talking a lot about affirmations don't move the needle, journaling doesn't move the needle. But when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about when you've got something big that you're wanting to shift in your life. Maybe you procrastinate. Maybe you always seem to be hitting up that same ceiling when it comes to your income. Maybe you've got some belief about what others perceive you as, and you have a hard time getting in front of people and speaking. Whatever it is, Those things, affirmations and journal prompts will help you get a little clarity on what you want, but it doesn't move you toward that destination. So affirmations and journals prompts, as I said earlier, they have a place, right? And so I wanted everybody loved it in the group when I used to do the affirmations and journal prompts. For over a year, I did it every single day. And then it was like, okay, I'm ready to do it less often. So that's why I'm doing my lives once a week now. But here is the affirmation for today. Let me see if I can get this and put it up on this. Whoop, hold on. I was going to hold on. Let me see if I can get it. All right, let's see if I got it here. All right, our affirmation. I am not broken. I am layered. And every layer I move through is proof that I am growing. And what I like to say is take this affirmation, put it on a sticky note, put it as a screensaver on your phone, put it on a piece of paper and stick it to the fridge. Sometimes I will take my affirmations and I'll use a chalk marker and put them on the mirror in my bathroom. Someplace that I'm reminded of who I am, right? And remember, anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful. So this is a very powerful affirmation. It's not the whole step, but it's a piece of the step. So I am not broken. I am layered, and every layer I move through is proof that I am growing. So say that one to yourself, write it down, put it somewhere you'll see it for sure. And let me grab the journal prompt. Whoop. Hold on. Let's see if I got this. I got to put it in the comment things to make sure I've got the whole thing. Let's take this off so maybe it'll all show. All right. Here's the journal prompt. Where in my financial life have I noticed a pattern that keeps repeating even after I've done the work? What might that pattern be trying to protect me from? And I suggest that you write these down in a notebook or on a piece of paper. I like to have a journal, designated journal, or a notebook. And I write them down with the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt. And then once you've written them down, your subconscious knows what they are. You've already said them. If you haven't said them out loud, go ahead and say them out loud. And then take a moment or a few moments to just sit in silence before you write anything down. So you have them on a piece of paper, set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes, whatever you have time for, and then tap into silence. And that means you focus on your breath. You can even say, breathe in, breathe out, so that you're focusing on your breath. Sometimes you'll find, I find this as well, that I'll be focusing on my breath and suddenly I'm rehearsing something that I'm going to be doing live later, or I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing for lunch, or I'm thinking about something else. But as soon as that happens, then you bring yourself back to your breath. And so you're actually training your brain to stay focused. And what's more important is that your subconscious mind is realizing, okay, they're serious. Okay, they're serious. And they'll come back and it'll quit. It'll allow your conscious mind to go away if it wants to, but it'll allow your subconscious to really be focused. And that's what we want, the focus of the subconscious. And that's one of the things that hypnosis does, is it helps you to get everything in focus. So You've set your timer, and if it feels like you still cannot seem to get just quiet, and quiet doesn't mean that no thoughts are happening in your head. Even Tibetan monks don't have total silence in there. Well, I can't really speak for that, but my opinion is there's nothing. It's not that there's no sound, nothing going on, but they're able to focus it a little bit more. So that's what we're learning. And so one of the things that I do to help me when I feel like I'm having a hard time just focusing on my breath is I start labeling sounds. So because you can hear sounds all the time, like right now I can hear the hum of this computer. So I would just say that's the hum of my computer. A lot of times I can hear somebody outside with their leaf blower or something, and I'll say leaf blower, or that's the fan. And I will just label the sounds because you can't think two thoughts at the same time. And what we're doing is we're bringing everything in to where we're back in our focus of our journal prompt. And once the timer goes off, that's when you pick up your pen, your pencil, and you just write whatever shows up, whatever comes to mind. You don't critique it. You don't do anything to it, but just write it down. It's just for you, because our subconscious mind talks to us a lot of times in pictures and metaphors and things that we don't really understand. And the more you do this work, the more your subconscious is going to be giving you signals and talking to you. But we can't hear this voice, the God voice, our intuition. We can't hear it most of the time because there's so much chatter going on in our heads. So this is allowing us to come into this place where we can actually focus and hear that internal voice, that subconscious voice that's wanting to give us clarity and direction. So you write down everything that comes up, even if it sounds stupid, if it sounds like it doesn't even pertain to this, everything, you write it down. And then later you can come back, and from a different place, you can look at it and use your intuition and your perception and say, oh, this was one of the things that came up. Maybe that is relevant, and you start working with it. So that's important. So especially when you look at what might the pattern be trying to protect me from? And you can do this into two parts. Because especially what is it trying to protect me from? That's important. Because your subconscious mind isn't working against you, it's protecting you. And when you understand that, everything starts to shift. Because your subconscious programming only job is to keep you safe. It doesn't mean it keeps you happy. Doesn't mean it keeps you comfortable. It doesn't mean any of that. It means it keeps you safe. And safe means it keeps you doing the things that you've survived before. Now hear that. It keeps you safe by keeping you doing the same things that you've been doing that might have been going totally wrong, but you survived. And so it keeps repeating. And so we're shifting out of that place. And I want to say one more thing before I go. The fact that you guys showed up today, and I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Keep doing the work. Keep looking for what's going to make it finally click. And that's not nothing. That is everything. And remember, you're not behind. You're not broken. You are on an escalator that is moving. And today you choose the direction. So I dropped the link here we go. The link for the workshop. It is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's live. It's come as you are. And I would love, love to see you there. We're going to have even more shifts in the room. And as always, remember, life is delicious. and I will see you Wednesday. Mwah. Love you guys.